And nobody can address us as parasites. We are the economic heart of Nigeria. The oil that is so being busted on today was discovered, harnessed, and the refineries were constructed with the northern Nigerian sweat, with the northern Nigerian economy, with the northern Nigerian money. The money of granite, pyramid, and cotton was the one that was used to research, discover, and build the refineries that are some other part of Nigeria are claimed to be their own personal property. If that is the case, we also deserve, just like NNDC and Niger Delta Ministry, there should be a Northern Development Ministry that should also be given the same amount of money that is given to NNDC, because our money was the money that was used to develop the oil. That's number one. Number two, those that got education, early education from the south, southwest, and southeast, got those education from the northern economy, from our...
If I call you Momo now, it will be an insult, but I won't call you Momo anyway. I won't call you Momo. I won't make that mistake to call you
own money from the northern sweat. And by the grace of God today, the northern Nigeria also, even if you are boosting of oil, has been discovered in Badeje village within Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba along the Chad Basin. And that was why those people are instigating the Boko Haram. So that they...
Hello, who am I speaking to? The caller from Spain, who am I speaking to? Oga or Madam, something is definitely not right with your telephone. We cannot hear you. You are in Spain, I believe, but whenever you call, we can't hear you. Can you please speak up, or are you calling from Zaza room? Sorry again, I'll take another caller because you're not speaking. Good evening. Who are you? Who am I speaking to? You're on to MaaziEzeoke. This is live.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Good evening. There's a second woman calling this evening. I hope you're calling regarding the program now.
Yes, I'm calling regarding the program. Yes, thank you so much. My name is Ngozik, and I'm calling from United Kingdom.
Okay, you're welcome.
So, yeah, so my contribution is about our people. To be honest, I just have problem with our Igbo people. You know, so-called all the South. Because even when you read some journals, you know, the comments the people are making from Yoruba to Igbo, the insult, you know, the insult that they give to each other is, you know, what is worrisome. It's not about the outsiders, because I've forgotten about those people long time ago. I've forgotten about them. But what are we doing ourselves to better our lives? This is what, you know, I'm asking to myself. What are we doing to better our own lives? Because when you go to our villages in Igbo land in the South, you see the kind of jealousy we have to each other. We are looking for Biafra. But how are we going to live in that Biafra that we are looking for? The hatred that we have on each other, how are we going to live there? So, you see, this is a worrisome for me. And I think it's high time our people start going home to develop our own place. Because with development, we might even achieve this Biafra without shedding any blood. It's high time.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You talked about the Igbos not loving themselves. Yeah. Can you elaborate more on that?
What I mean is elaborating about, Igbo not loving themselves is, in terms of the way we even treat each other.
How?
In our own place.
How?
The jealousness that we have on each other. That's what I'm talking about.
If I ask you to give me, it's good you're bringing this up, yeah. And I'll take my time, calmly. Let's get into it, because you see, we say in Igbo,
yes.
When a lie is repeated so many times and it's not challenged, it begins to sound like truth.
Yes.
Now, we say Igbo don't like themselves. I think I don't buy that narrative. I think it's a conjured narrative.
Okay.
Madam, you live in the United Kingdom, you said.
Yes.
Apart from Igbo, do you know about any other ethnic nationality in the United Kingdom that have town unions, community unions, and etc., etc.? Do you know of any?
The Yorubas, they do have their meetings.
Okay. But they're not broken down to like Imo, Anambra, or Oka, or Mbise, these, that.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay. So do you know why Igbos break it down sometimes, to communities?
I don't know.
Okay. And do you think that a people that hate themselves will be doing that, coming together, have, come bring their children together to know themselves, and go back home, build, and bring people to come and live and work in London? Do you think people that hate themselves will do that?
No. To answer your question, no.
The
hatred I meant, when I mean hatred, I don't mean the hatred like, killing one another.
But
the hatred I mean is about developmental hatred.
That's a new word. May I drive, deeper to this developmental hatred? What do you mean by that?
Okay, what I mean by developmental hatred is this. We, the Igbos, we are the ones that develop Nigeria.
Okay.
We travel around all Nigeria. We buy the bushes and we develop it.
Okay.
And then, we bring so many business down to Nigeria and we develop everywhere we see.
Yeah, but hold on. So how can a people developing wherever they are hate themselves? I'm struggling here, madam. Okay, I'll ask you this. Probably you own a property in London, I don't know. Or let me put it this way. Do you know anybody that is Igbo that owns property in England or London, as a place you're calling me from?
Yes, so many of them.
So many of them. Do they hate themselves by owning property in England?
No, they don't hate themselves.
Exactly. So many of those people that own property in London, do they own properties in their villages in the southeast?
Some of them do, some of them not.
Okay, some of them do, some of them not. Meaning some of them have not seen the need for. But that doesn't they won't. So why would someone who, as we say in Igbo, Ebonye bikon awachi, you live in London, it be pure honest. If you haven't, secured yourself by either buying a property or going into a mortgage or anything, then you go use the whole money, go to your village and build 3, 4, 5 bedroom house, lock it up, go back to London and live in a box room. That is pure insanity. Now, I am struggling. Why I'm taking time to have this conversation with you so that everyone watching us would also learn one or two things from here. Now, there is this narrative, and sorry, but I think maybe you might have somehow fallen a victim of this narrative that when I argue with you, you know, I can see it, I read it in comments. In this generation of uncultured children, you can see many people. That's why whenever I make my program, I say, please, can we not insult ourselves? Can we be civil? Now, I think you're mistaking that culture of hiding under a keyboard. Now, looking at the other person who is on the other side of keyboard as an inanimate object, speaking to that person in a language that you might not use if you're speaking to that person face to face. I think you're moving that to a realm of realism where you are conjuring that to mean that the people that can spew even things, right things that they don't mean as hatred. And because there is a part of us that is a part of the system that is faking this conjuncture and trying to push it to sell it to you that you hate yourself. And I say, tell me the entity called Nigeria, a people that love themselves more than Igbo. Madam, if I may ask you, you probably in every 2-3 years, you go down to the same pilgrimage we all do to the southeast for Christmas. Will you do that if you hate yourself? When you leave London and go to Nigeria, do you go empty-handed? Most times, I bet you go with excess luggage. Those excess luggage you go with, are they the shoes or the clothes you wear? These are things you will give out. But you're going through the pain because you love your people. Mr. A, B, C, and family are doing the same thing because they love their people and get these things and go give it to their people. You build houses. You couldn't do that if you hate yourself. Now, this is a person that will move from Mbise and go to Ngopala and get a boy to come and serve him after serving for 5 years. Will now open a shop and make sure that that boy stands. How can a people that hate themselves engage in that? Come down to Nnewi, you will hear someone like Ifan Yuba said, my Oga. He refers to Ibeto. You hear Chikasin say, my Oga. You hear Kosteri says, my Oga, the man I serve. And these are people who, among themselves, have been able to hitting themselves to a point that they can raise themselves up. Madam, I refuse this evening to agree with you that we hate ourselves. We might have our differences, which is natural. When you are in England, madam, I tell you, if you ever worked with Scottish people and you hear the things they talk about English people, you will think if you leave that pub that day, they're going to be shooting at each other. But that is natural.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. I do not, you know, again, I hope you understand my point. I am unapologetically
How are we
Igbo.
going to leave the concept of Biafra?
No.
This
Okay.
is what I asked you there.
Okay, the concept now. Okay, I think that's a different thing. What we are saying today, the video that we are analyzing here talked about southern Nigeria.
Oh, forget about those.
Hold on. No. We wouldn't. Hold on, please. That's what we are analyzing this evening. It talked about southern Nigeria. I want us as a people not to lose sight of the comment. The word is southern Nigeria. We must begin to think and begin to act smart. If someone didn't break it down for you, don't try to break it down. I wouldn't be in battle of trying to demarcate and divide ourselves. No, together we stand. If they talk about southern Nigeria collectively, because if anything, because if you hear his word, he said, has any northerner got anything in the southeast, in the south, and in the southwest? Then he lumped it together as southern Nigeria. That means if after 30 days anything going to happen, there would not be any Igbo, there would not be any Joy Shekil Efik. So you will be dealt with as a southern Nigeria, someone who is not of northern Nigeria. Therefore, I would not be caught in that trap of trying to divide ourselves into a smaller molecule.
But have we Southerners agreed that there's no differentiation between the Southerners?
Madam, if you have been paying attention...
Have we agreed today?
Madam,
have we agreed that we are Southerners?
Madam, if you have been...
Have we agreed?
If you may listen to me, if you pay attention what has been happening in the last 2-3 years, you would have seen that there is an agreement that for the first time since Nigeria's existence, a group called the Southern Governors met for once and had an agreement. You think that was an accident? Madam, I would say open your spiritual eye to see what is happening. I don't want to divulge more than that. Thank you very much for your call this evening. Thank you for your listening to me.